Family breakdown is a reality we don't like to face. The decision to separate is never easy, and as anyone who has been through it will tell you, the painful experience can scar adults and children for years. Getting the right support at the right time can reduce the long-term impact, and that's where we can help. We've put together a series of videos specifically for separated parents, focusing on a range of topics such as communication, co-parenting, managing emotions, and mediation. We hope you find them helpful.
Joe's partner left after telling him that she'd been in a relationship with someone else for the last 6 months. She moved out and left their small children with Joe. He was in shock, angry and stressed about how he could hold down a full-time job and take care of the kids at the same time. He was completely lost and didn't know what to do. One of his friends suggested he call Catholic Care for help. At the beginning of a separation, things can feel impossible. There may be a sense of grief and loss over the end of the relationship or to the change to your family situation. It's normal to feel lost and overwhelmed. You may need some help at this time to give you some guidance as to what to do next. We've created a to-do list that can guide you early in your separation. The first point is to make a list of issues that you feel you and the other parent need to make agreements on. This can form the starting point for a meeting or discussion in the coming days or weeks. Secondly, decide if you need advice on any of the issues on your list and ask to get help or get some information. Also, research your financial situation. Do you have access to funds that you can use to pay essential bills, to buy groceries and continue paying rent or the mortgage? Do you have any debts that you need paid? Do you feel confident in your understanding of your finances? If not, we do have a free financial counselling service that may be able to assist you. If you need to move out of the house, do you have important documents for yourself and any children who will be living with you? And lastly, if you are feeling unsafe in your current situation due to threats from your partner, please seek assistance from a domestic violence support organisation.
Early on in your separation, there are a few decisions that can really help set you up for a more positive experience for yourself and your kids moving forward. Some ideas include taking care of yourself. You will parent your kids better if you're feeling supported. Seek out good friends and keep up activities that make you feel good. Trying hard to speak respectfully about the other parent in front of your kids. Remember, you're making the effort for the kids, not for the other parent. Support the kids to spend time with and have contact with the other parent by making an agreed plan. Keeping all adult issues away from the kids, including information about adult relationships, including new partners, financial issues, who's moving out of the house and why, or how you're coping about the end of the relationship. Don't use the kids as messengers. Come up with a plan to communicate with the other parent by email, text, or phone. Avoiding conflict with the other parent in front of the kids. This includes by phone, text, email, or face-to-face. Don't rely on your kids to support or comfort you. They're going through their own loss and grief. They'll be looking to you for support. If there's any violence or the other parent makes you feel fearful, get help immediately.
The goal is to make a plan together that you and the other parent can follow. Having a plan can make life much easier. Planning can take away the uncertainty of the situation so that you're not worried about what's going to happen and you feel a bit more in control. Plans can be short-term to begin with and changed as needed. It can be really hard to do a good job of talking about things and making a plan with the other parent without becoming upset or arguing. So here's some ideas to make it easier for you. Try to have an unemotional meeting with the other parent. Think of it like a business meeting by phone or possibly face-to-face to talk about an agreed list of issues. Try to stick to the topic you're talking about and make some short-term agreements so that you both know what's going to happen about that particular issue. If it's really hard to talk, do this by email and limit your contact with the other parent. Keep your kids away from this meeting. If you tell the kids that you've talked with the other parent and that you have made a plan together, they will feel more secure and they'll cope better. If it's too hard to have this meeting and the other parent is willing Speak to a mediator and they can help. They can help you make some short-term agreements to support yourselves and your children. Catholic Care offer mediation. In preparing for this discussion or mediation, think about the ages and stages of development of your children. What do you think is best for them in spending time with each parent? Generally, older kids will cope better with longer periods and possibly overnights, whereas very young kids may benefit from seeing the parent who isn't their primary carer often and for shorter periods of time. In every case, your child's specific needs should be the main focus, and every family and the child is different, so what works for a friend of yours may not work for you.
Jenny contacted our mediation team to ask for help, as she and her ex-partner Sarah were unable to talk and needed to make some arrangements for their kids aged 3 and 7. Jenny had ended the relationship and Sarah was hurt and wouldn't talk to her about when she could see the kids. When the mediation team invited Sarah to mediation, she refused to attend. Jenny was offered a Section 60I certificate stating that she had attempted to have a mediation, but that Sarah was unwilling. Jenny used the certificate to make a parenting application in the court, and orders were made about when and how Jenny could see her children. The Family Law Act says that you need to attempt mediation before making an application for a parenting order. Most parents are able to make decisions for their kids outside of the court. A 60I certificate allows a parent to make an application to the court about their kids. The court will then make a decision, called orders, on behalf of the parents. These orders are legally enforceable. A 60I certificate can be issued for several reasons, and only if a family dispute resolution practitioner has assessed the case and decided to issue it. This might be because the mediation is not suitable for your case, because you tried mediation already and didn't resolve all or one of the issues, or because one person wouldn't attend mediation. If you do mediate together, the agreements you reach are called a parenting agreement. They are not legally binding. They are good faith agreements made by the parents. If the parents sign and date these agreements, they become what's called a parenting plan. Parenting plans are recognised by the court, but are still not enforceable. For parenting agreements to be legally enforceable, they need to be made into court orders. We can provide further information about this if needed.
Some of the topics that are usually covered in the early days include living arrangements, where are you both going to live and where will the children live? Parenting arrangements, how will the kids spend time with each of you? This might include term time and also school holidays. If Christmas is coming, then perhaps a discussion about the holiday period would be helpful. Financial arrangements, how will the bills be paid for the next few months? What's going to happen with child support and any child-related expenses? Communication, how will you communicate with each other? What issues are you happy to communicate about? How will the kids communicate with the parent they're not with at the time? And a review, when and how will these initial agreements be reviewed to make some more long-term plans?
If you're feeling unsafe in making decisions involving the other parent or concerned for your children, you probably need additional support. Please contact Catholic Care or a service near to you. You can talk about your situation and they can give you assistance, and you need to make a safety plan for you and your children. If you feel that the other parent has behaved in a way that puts your kids at risk, you may need to make a child protection report or talk to the police about an apprehended violence order. There is a free domestic violence advocacy service that will support you at court if there's an AVO pending, or you need to attend court for your parenting application to be heard. If you think that you may have been the victim of domestic violence, or think that you may have used domestic violence within your relationship, please seek help. It may also be useful to get some legal advice about how you can manage this situation and how a legal process may be helpful to you. In these types of situations, mediation may not be appropriate. For more information, visit the Family Law Early Intervention Unit provided by Legal Aid New South Wales.
Our advice is to focus on the big picture. Your children don't need perfect parents, just good enough parents. There will be times when things don't go the way you want them to. There will be bumps in the road and the other parent will do things you really don't like. Remember that you can't control the other parent, only yourself, your responses and your actions. Your choices should support a safe and healthy space for your kids. Ask yourself, what do I want my kids to remember about this time in their lives? There's lots of information available that should give you the support that you need. We've made a list of these resources, as well as some really good parenting courses. Learn more about how we support separated families. Contact us today.